to say that 5G makes these fields much stronger, to the point where they're dangerous, and that you need to use their product to shield yourself. So the way this apparently works is you plug it into your computer and it creates a 40-meter force field around you. And if that doesn't already sound ridiculous enough, they claim that even without power, even if you're just carrying this in your bag with you, it can still create a permanently protective, and I quote, plasmic shield of 8 meters. Now, where have I heard of plasmic shields before? Oh yeah, Star Wars. The shield apparently uses, can't even make this stuff up, quantum oscillation to restore the coherence of atoms and emit life force frequencies. The Force. Star Wars. I feel like a link is forming. And it was at around this point that I thought, for goodness sake, I've got to try it. I've got to make 100% sure that this is in fact the pile of garbage that it looks like. So I ordered one. And the purchase process was about as shady as the science behind it. It's listed at £283, but the second you add it to the cart, you quickly realise they're going to add sales tax on top of that. Companies don't usually do that in the UK. And when you factor in the additional £12 shipping fee, this ends up at £351.60. And of course, the only way to pay is a direct bank transfer, which has zero payment protection. So I stomached it. I thought, this is £350 I'm not expecting to see again. But a sub to the channel would be amazing. Miracles do happen. 2 weeks later, a little package dropped through the door. I picked it up. I immediately knew what it was. I sprinted to the studio, ripped open the box, and smashed it into my computer. Wow! This is the best thing I've ever seen in my life! And thanks to quantum nanoparticle electroforcism, you can get the effects just by watching through your screen. You're welcome. Okay, no. It is exactly what it looks like. This is a USB stick. And in fact, the only surprise I had here was the fact that its total capacity maxes out at 128 megabytes. They've even been so kind as to drop a full 25-page document on there, which includes a before and after health summary from people who've been using the Shield. It says that most users report reverse aging by 18 years. So according to that, I'm about to turn 7. It makes these definitely real reviews of the product a little suspect. I'm thrilled by the science on which basis the device has been created. I'm not a physicist, you don't say. But I understand partially with my intuition. Daniela says, the people I work with seem to be more happy and laugh more. This I could believe. And this one's my favourite. The item you have created is not only ingenious, but exquisitely beautiful in design. All of this speaks to me about the people you are, so I want you to know that I appreciate you as well as what you're doing, namely contributing towards a new heaven on.
New Vicks Immune Cold Defense Tablets. Unique blend of vitamins, minerals and herbals for immune cold defense.
Earth. Right, let me try and put some perspective on the sheer stupidity of the words being written here. Heaven on earth, it's a USB. It registers as a USB. And guess what? It took me 5 minutes to find an almost identical product on AliExpress. It's the same color, it's got the same poor build quality. It's $3. And you wanna know the best part? That one has more storage. The single difference between this product and that listing is a sticker. Not anymore. But you know what's worse? Is that this whole operation is run by 2 scientists. My assumption when I first came across BioShield was, okay, this is obviously stupid. It's probably run by 2 people who don't know what they're talking about. People who didn't understand the science, and people who themselves were just convinced by their own theories. But that's not what's happening here. These guys more than likely knew exactly what they were making here. And even if they somehow believed the stuff they've written on the site to start with, then surely at the point when you're on the purchasing page for a $3 USB stick, which is actually what you're about to send to customers, something must have clicked. This is not people being delusional. This is a very deliberate scam. But wait, there's more. I know. Kill me now. It turns out the Glastonbury Town Council in the UK, the official government-funded body, they set up an advisory council for 5G, and they recommended this product. Their exact words were, we use this device and we find it helpful. It does one thing, and it does that one thing so poorly that if I wanted to fit this one video file on these BioShield sticks, I'd need to buy 250 of them. It would cost me $100,000. In what world is that helpful? It looks like what happened is it was just one person who said, I've used this, I can recommend it, and nobody else batted an eyelid. But come on, I mean, it doesn't take a genius. But probably the weirdest part of this scam is that Compared to most schemes like this, where companies make a quick buck by being super vague about what's going on, this company has an answer for everything. A group of people called the Pen Test Partners, they took one of these things apart and they said to the company, look, we can see it's a USB stick, what do you have to say for yourself? And I couldn't believe it, a spokeswoman from the company actually replied. She said, we're in possession of a great deal of technical information, with plenty of backup historical research. As you can understand, we are not authorized to fully disclose all this sensitive information to third parties. Ah, yeah, of course, the secrets stay with you. And the Glastonbury 5G committee. And the directors of Star Wars. They've got an FAQ on their website, and someone's asked, can I use an electromagnetic field meter to be able to test that it is in fact reducing the radiation? It's a fair question. Using a meter would be the best way of testing if it's actually doing anything. But they actually had the audacity to say, no, your meter only measures the intensity of the EMF, which our device doesn't change. Our device only changes the form of the EMF. And oh my god, guess what? Only they have the tools to be able to measure that. How do we know if it's on and working? Great question, let's see what they say. It is always on and working. That's why we used quantum nanolayer technology. Oh, yes, it makes sense. Anyways, I spent 3 days in total just looking into this stuff, and while it did start off funny, I think by the end of it, I was actually a bit worried. It turns out 5G BioShield is just one of many schemes like this. There are anti-5G blankets, there are watches, and believe it or not, underwear. I even found a company called Vortex who's selling anti-5G charms. It's genuinely on the same level as wearing a piece of garlic around your neck to keep the vampires away. And if you thought we'd already hit peak stupidity, then you'd be wrong. A very quick search on YouTube shows videos that claim to use a certain vibrational frequency to shield you from 5G. Genius. So I'm going to finish this video with a very simple message. If anyone you know is considering buying one of these, tell them not to. If this ever pops up on an Instagram or a Facebook advert, which it might well do after watching this video, don't buy it. Please, don't buy it. And with that being said, my name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'll catch you in the next one.